Decisions, decisions, decisions. How do we make these decisions? Hey y'all, I wanted to touch on a subject that has actually been presented to me but doesn't necessarily apply to me, but I still wanted some feedback from you all in hopes of helping those that it does apply to. Now, when I say that it doesn't apply to me, what I mean is that when I made my decision to have weight loss surgery, to me things like losing my curves or losing my hair or things like that it was a non-factor in my decision. I wasn't concerned with that or those things. However, there are those women out there who, unlike society wants you to feel shamed or embarrassed or uncomfortable with your curves. No, they actually want to keep their curves and are afraid of losing their curves if they lose weight. Now, the thing with that is, I think that comes from a certain mindset, meaning, to me, I think that you haven't either one, fully considered how you plan to live your life after having this surgery, and two, you probably haven't done your research. Now, what I mean by that is, when I decided to have weight loss surgery, it was not just a decision so I could lose weight. I needed help, but it was more so about what I ate, how much I ate, and things like that, as opposed to just simply, I need to lose weight, I want to lose weight. I tried and I've told this story multiple times, so I'm not going to go down that route. But my point in saying all of that was, I knew that I was going to have to make a total, permanent lifestyle change in order for this to truly be effective, or otherwise it would be for naught. And so as a result, I knew that I was going to have to go from a lifestyle of relatively non-active to almost constantly active. And that's pretty much where I am. It's been gradual, and I'm definitely not as active as I would like to be. However, I'm working towards getting there. And I knew that I was going to have to incorporate certain things in my lifestyle that just was not there before. And one of those things was exercising regularly and working out regularly. And so I say this because I think those who are afraid to lose their curves just really haven't considered the fact that, yeah, you're going to lose weight, but you don't necessarily have to lose your curves because you're losing weight. Yes, boobs are fat, ass is fat, all of that is fat, so it will get smaller, but smaller does not automatically equate to non-curvy. There are many beautiful, petite, yet very curvy women, in our society. And again, it goes to, I think, a lot of the misconceptions, or I'm not going to say misconceptions, but personal definitions of just what curvy is, especially in our community, in the Black community. We have a tendency to associate, thickness and voluptuousness and curvaceousness and roundness with, for the most part, it's synonymous with obesity, because many of the women who we consider curvaceous in our families, or even ourselves, are typically overweight, or obese more often than not. And so we automatically feel like if we lose this weight, we're no longer going to be curvy. It could be from a standpoint of being desirable to our mate, our partner. It could honestly just be, you know, like my fear that I discussed in my other video. My fear was I don't want to be skinny, you know, and so I'm not worried about losing my curves. Will I get smaller? Have I gotten smaller? Yes. But do I still have curves? Yes. And do I plan to do certain things to enhance or enunciate my curves on my own? Yes. One of those at the forefront will be exercise. There are many exercises that you can do to, if you're already curvy, help you accentuate, you know, your curves. There are things that you can do to broaden your hips. There are things you can do to lift your butt. There's so many things that you can do. So to me, I honestly did not think about that. I didn't think about that. That wasn't a concern of mine. My health was more so my concern than my big old ass. You know, like, I hate to put it bluntly, but I've always had a big ass, and so I wasn't worried about it disappearing. If it happened, it happened. I still, like I said, plan to do certain exercises to do what I could to maintain some ass, because I don't want to be walking around flat like a pancake. But it was not a decision in terms of, it was not going to prevent me from becoming healthy, you know, the fear of losing my ass. So I think a lot of times, again, especially in our community, we have a tendency to put more emphasis on the superficial than we do our health. You know, we'll spend hundreds of dollars on some hair to be glued in our head and, you know, all of this unnecessary stuff, but yet we won't focus on the things that really matter at the end of the day. And that, to me, is being healthy. That was my concern. Not knocking or dissing anyone who chooses to spend whatever the hell you spend. That's your money, do what you want to do. But when it comes down to it, you have to decide what's more important, me looking good or me feeling good. And I honestly believe that you can have both if you do things the proper way. But would the decision to, how can I say this? The thought of losing my hips and my curves would not have prevented me from becoming healthy. Again, that's me. And I understand, you know, that feeling. I absolutely do. But if you're at the point to where you even have to consider weight loss surgery, see, that's what I think a lot of people aren't understanding. If you're at a point to where you have to consider weight loss surgery, then that might be the deciding factor in your decision. Like, is my health at the point to where I can't do this on my own? I can't get this weight off on my own. So therefore, I might need to consider surgery. I mean, because if you're able to do it on your own, by all means, don't go that route. And that makes me go back into, you know, the other video of, has it really become just a matter of, or clumped in with the other cosmetic surgeries, you know? Because if you're considering it and really don't need it, then why bother? So what are your thoughts on this topic? Would the possible loss of your curves be a deciding factor in whether or not you have surgery? And of course, that's phrased for those who have not had it. But if you have had it, was that a deciding factor? Was that a decision that you had to consider before you decided to go through with weight loss surgery? And how much of an effect did it have on your decision? Is there anyone out there who has decided not to because they are so afraid of losing their curves? Let me know. I love to read your comments, so drop them down below. And if you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications. And I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.